Sooner or later, whenever,
I never inspected this. You never told me.
it's going to be adjourned.
Okay, good. 'Cause I know where it is. It's on the main street.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Got it. There's some people here. I don't know what case they're on, but.
Thank you for lunch. Joe says thank you for lunch.
Nothing. Cheapest lunch I've had in a long time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Should have pulled the O'Brien.
Look at this. Oh, now I get it.
I am assuming the sign in question is.
Representative sign permit as an illuminated wall sign being the base is a lot with a private parking is permitted under our zoning. Further, the sign does not project off this any further than the existing building features, including the gutters and downspout. Okay.
This is a
Now I got
building
it.
inspector.
Yeah. What's McKevitt doing? What is he doing? Can we get started? Pardon? Long time. Long time. Months.
Good afternoon. This is the Town of Hempstead Board of Appeals, July 1st, 2 p.m. meeting. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Before I make a decision as to whether or not I want to make opening remarks, is there anyone here who is not either represented by counsel or someone who is not familiar with the way we conduct our hearings? Okay, so I'll dispense with the usual. Call the cases.
Mr. Chairman, we do have a couple cases for adjournment for this afternoon. First, we have case 36426 Woodmere, 121 Franklin Partners LLC, also known as 121 Franklin Place. Gentlemen, just your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon, everyone. Alex Leibson from Abrams Fenceman on behalf of the objectors, the Franklin Tower Condominium Association.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Bonesso for Chelly Deegan Tarana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, applicant's attorney.
Okay. Gentlemen.
Yeah. Good afternoon again. We'd like to request an adjournment to the next available date for the hearing. My firm has just been retained by the Condominium Association. Is it not loud enough? Okay. Did everybody hear me? We'd like to request an adjournment on behalf of the Condominium Association. My firm has just been retained.
Mr. Bonasso, you're familiar with?
Yes, we have no objection to the adjournment, Mr. Chairman. We're aware of the board's policy that the first time a case is on the calendar, almost always an adjournment is granted. So we don't object to that. I would just ask Mr. Secretary what the date available would be.
He said next available, so.
Mr. Chairman, next available date is August 5th at 2 p.m.
Will that give you sufficient time to prepare, Counselor?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
It's good by us.
August 5th, what time, 2 p.m.?
2 p.m.
8/5, 2 p.m.
Thank you.
I would request that you not spend an inordinate amount of time on the hearings, only because that happens to be my 80th birthday. I made it, maybe. Okay, we'll see about that. All right, only kidding. All right,
I'll bring a cake.
no, you don't have to.
And we'll do the abbreviated.
That would be considered inappropriate. All right. Okay. All right.
And Mr. Benesso, just make sure that the sign's updated. Thank you.
Hope the guy knows that.
Mr. Chairman, we have one more adjournment for this afternoon. Case 36826, Oceanside Prince Enterprise Holdings LLC, waive off-street parking, proposed optician's office, also known as 462 through 464 Merrick Road. Mr. McKevitt, just your name and address for the record.
Sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. For this applicant, Thomas McKevitt, San Ward, Braff, Coscignano, 333 Irvington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, 11553. I've just been recently brought into this case, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Prince is looking to open up actually just an optical office at this location, Oceanside. What happened was he was handling the sign postings on his own. And when he originally put them up, he put the case number, but not the description of what the relief was. So technically, it's a defective sign posting. He has since gotten the appropriate signs up there with today's date. I've spoken to the secretary to the board, and I believe we can have a new date of July 22nd, incumbent upon Dr. Prince today putting up a new covering over the sign to indicate we'll be here on July 22nd at 2 p.m.
Is anyone else signed in on this case?
There are a number of people, actually, if they just want to stand. Let me just explain this case, and hopefully this will put a lot of the neighbors to allay their concerns. This was for a number of years a furniture store, an air conditioning store. It predates the code. The building department determines he needs a parking variance. I disagree with it, but here it is. The biggest concern the neighbors have is there's a number of parking restrictions around the area. We are not touching those parking restrictions in any way whatsoever. Those parking restrictions are designed so no people from businesses park in front of their houses. We agree with it. We will do everything we can to make it stays that way forever. I just want to assure them that's the case. We're not looking to take any parking space in front of their homes, and those restrictions will stay exactly the way they are at this point. I've given neighbors my card, willing to talk to them. Dr. Prince is here, talk to them, and he wants to be a very good neighbor to them for many years.
We have that a lot where the wording of waive off-street parking
Right.
confuses people. So, Mr. McKevitt, you're going to explain what that actually means. It has really little to do with you guys taking over the street parking.
Right. What waive off-street parking means is technically according to the town code, which was enacted in 1957, well after this building was built, is that they require you to have your own parking lot. You cannot go and count spaces on the street as part of your parking. That's what the requirement is. So when you see it says waive off-street parking, we're asking for a variance by saying because we have several spaces in the garage and the waive is businesses, here is new, there's parking spaces. But we're not in any way touching those restrictions the town's put there. We agree with them completely and want them to stay there just as much as they do.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you for the summary.
if I can just weigh in for 1 second. I'm very familiar with the area and the restrictions that are there. In a past life, I helped implement some of them. The restrictions that are there, they could only be touched by town board resolution, and no way would this board be able to do anything to affect those signs. In fact, all the neighbors would be prior noticed if any of those signages would be coming down.
And that would be before town board and.
That would be before town board. That's part of the Oceanside Parking District, I believe.
Yeah, we're really only here to determine whether they should be able to have an
All
optician
right,
there.
all right,
Correct.
let's cut it short. All right. July 22nd, 2 p.m., folks. For those of you who want to hear, there won't be any new notices. Patrick, no new notices,
Right.
correct?
No, the only thing that needs to be updated would
The
be,
sign will be
they need
fixed, all
to
right?
patch the sign.
Have a nice day. Thank you all for coming out and hope you have a great holiday, folks.
You understood you won't get a new notice in the mail. That's the date if you, I don't think most of you want to come back, but that's the date. Thank you. Imagine I'm warm. Oh, I love this jacket. Why didn't I notice it?
Okay. Next, we'll be calling case
I wore this last year.
36526 through 36726, Baldwin, 1025 West Merrick Road, LLC. Variances, front yard setback on Merrick Road, rear yard, maintain addition to existing building, special exception to park in the front yard setbacks on Old Mill Road.
Folks, if you'd like to have a discussion, please do that outside because we have hearings.
Variance in off-street parking, existing auto body repair, and 2 apartments above. Special exception for accessory use storage shed with less than required front yard setback on Milburn Avenue in conjunction with auto body repair shop. Maintain 7-foot-high masonry wall and 8-inch high chain link fence with slats on Milburn Avenue and Old Mill Road, and a portion of which is within clear sight triangle, also known as 1025 Merrick Road.
Counselor, which of your alter egos is appearing on this case?
This is Mr. McKeevitt,
That's what I thought.
and there's a
Okay.
reason why it's Mr. McKeevitt, and you'll soon find out why. I know you're on the edge of your seats, but Thomas McKeevitt of Son, Ward, Braff, Coscignano, 333. Oh. I do. 33 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, 11553. Before I begin, I do have several exhibits. The first are a number of photographs, which I personally took this last Friday, June 26th, 2026. The other is 2 copies of a decision from this board dated October 21st, 1964, under case number 701. In this case. And in addition, I have copies of a survey which was as part of that 1964 case as well. So that's where all these documents come from as I was doing the research on this historic property in the town of Hempstead. Very historic.
So I'm told.
Yes. One of the greatest media cases in national history started at this location. It ended in Massapequa. I'll leave it at that.
So I'm told.
So the owner of the building is 1025 West Merrick Road, LLC. The premises is 1025 Merrick Road, Baldwin, New York, also known as Section 54, Block 47, Lot 8 on the land tax map in Nassau County, located in the Business X zone of the town of Hempstead. It is located at the northwest corner of Merrick Road and Milburn Avenue, and Old Mill Road comes at the rear of the location in the back of the property. The property is 15,017 square feet. According to the Nassau County Assessment Department, the original building was constructed in 1918 at this location. In 1946, a variance was granted by this board to allow the premises for manufacture and sale of pressed ornamental concrete products. I don't know what that is, but that's what the building was allowed for. So in 1952, the town board granted the building to be used as an auto body and repair shop. 1952. And what I love is I did pull the transcript back then, and the transcript was a half-page long for the entire hearing. I love the old days. So, in 1959, the story continues when the property was purchased by Mr. Casper Buttafuoco. And in 1964, what was the town, it's an interesting procedure they had back then. As we know, the town laws have changed. So back then, they had town board approvals. And then in 1964, they then came to this board, of which I've given you copies of the decision, as well as copies of the survey, for the permanent grant, which was granted for a body shop on October 7th, 1964, again in case number 701. And it's interesting, the use that happened back then is exactly the use today. As a matter of fact, when you look at the survey, which again given copies to the board, is pretty much the exact same layout as exists today, some literally 62 years later. Yes, well, it's yes and no. I'll tell you what happened. So, Casper Buttafuoco passed away in 1995. There was another member of the Botafuco's family who we will not mention anymore. But there was Bobby Botafuco. And by the way, Bobby Botafuco is a world champion arm wrestler. I'm not making this up. Look him up. He's a belted world champion arm wrestler, has been operating this facility from essentially when his father died up until about 2022. So I had numerous conversations with Mr. Botafuco, and what happened was in 1978, they conducted an expansion of it. And when you look at the site plan, it's actually shaded out as a 2,609 square foot addition.
Where on the site? Which one is?
When you look at the site plan, the most recent one, which is dated on February 27th, 2025.
Okay, so hold on. You mean that, did you say 2609?
2609. It's a one-story auto body repair shop addition.
When was that?
It was actually, well, the plans are dated February 27th of 2025.
So in 2025, they added that?
No, they added it in 1978. And I spoke with Mr. Botafuco, and Mr. Botafuco swears they hired a person to take care of the plans. They paid him money. He was taking care of everything. He said everything was taken care of. Not until 2022 did Mr. Botafuco become aware that it was not taken care of.
Well, did he works there every day, right?
Yes.
So did an inspector ever show up?
No, he hired a guy who said he was taking care of everything. I'm just telling you.
He's there on premises every day, and no inspector ever showed up.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter in the final analysis, but, okay, but please, in your thing, body shops notoriously put cars, waiting to be repaired in front yard setbacks in parking spots, which are not
Right.
storage spots.
Correct.
Austin Boulevard has a pile of that problem, and not to import that on your client, but I know one or more of the board members have already inspected finding you don't get to park cars, even park them on sidewalks, much less store cars queuing to be repaired in front yard setbacks or parking spots that are reserved for parking. So
Right.
go over that too, will you, Ms. McKevitt?
Right. So again, indicate what's happened here. And, as again, I've shown pictures of what Old Mill Road looks like. Again, the expansion was done in 1978. Again, I'm just telling you what my client said, and that's the way the operations has been existing ever since then.
Okay. You said in 2022 he discovered that that section wasn't permitted. How did he discover that? What came?
He sold the business to North Star Auto Body. And as part of the contract, they require them to go over the survey and finish up any permitting issues there may be. And that's when Mr. Botafuco found out that, lo and behold, there was no permit for it. So what happened was they put aside money in escrow, a significant side of escrow, which he's responsible to keep in escrow. And even though he no longer owns the property, he's responsible for getting the permits at this point over 4 years. And again, it took longer than it should have been. I'm the third attorney on this. We have the second architect because the first architect got cancer very severely, and the plans had to be redrawn from scratch again. So it's been just one debacle after another as to why it's taken this long to get here. So that's where we're at. So what we have again today is we have a situation whereby, and when you look at the stores in the setback, technically it may be a setback, and technically it may be front yard, but it's really not the way the place operates. Again, the front yard really is on Merrick Road. You have 1 Milburn Avenue. And as you look down Old Mill Road, now when you look down Old Mill Road, there's tons of cars down there. And according to the operator, they're not his. There are other body shops in the area. There are other industrial type uses, other mechanical type uses there. But they do everything to keep everything they have on their site.
Wait, so two things. Which one did you say does they treat it as the front yard, and which one does the building department treat?
Well, the building department will say, technically, the building department says you have 3 front yards. You got Merrick Road, you have Milburn Avenue, you got Old Mill Road. So technically, there are 3 front yards.
But which one are which label are they assigning to each when they analyze setbacks?
My understanding, they're putting the setbacks on all 3.
No, but which setback? Like, let's go.
For
Merrick.
example, they claim there should be a 10-foot setback on Merrick Road, and we have 0.
Because it's what?
The building was built in 1918,
No, but they claim you should have a 10-foot setback on Merrick Road because they claim it's what?
front yard,
Front yard.
right,
Okay, and Milburn Avenue,
same thing,
they claim 10-foot,
correct,
calling it a front yard.
yes.
Okay, and then, I don't know the radius map. Hold on.
Which again, frankly, the building predates when there was a code.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
Old Mill Road,
Then on Old Mill Road, what you have there is the parking area in the back. So when they consider parking the front yard setback, they will consider, I think, just about every single space there is parking in the front yard setback.
so they're considering Old Mill Road front yard also,
Yes,
deduced by the parking claim.
correct. So likewise, according to the parking calculations, they should have 22 spaces. And when you see we have laid out there, we have 8. Now, in reality, when I took inspections of the property, I've been there a couple of times, and if you look at spaces 5 and 6, they actually are able to fit 15, and again, it's not like it's customer parking. You know,
Is it?
for the most part, it's,
Storage.
well, I'm just being reality, it is storage for the most part. And for the most part, the customers are coming in, not with their own cars, but the car got towed in there. That's how it got there.
But they get there some way.
Yeah, they usually get dropped off by someone, and again, they're there for not a long period of time, but the cars come in. And in addition, inside the building, when I was there, there are spaces for another, I would say, 14 cars are done within the building. Now, to add on top of it, when North Star bought the property, North Star is not a one-shop operation. It is actually 5 locations that are located. So they not only have that, but they have ones in Belmore and Lynbrook and Lindenhurst and Oceanside. And in addition, they have 10 additional yards where they store the vehicles.
So I was going to ask you before you said the prior sentence, where are they storing the cars to be repaired? Granted, they have, what'd you say, 14 inside?
Inside, yes.
And they have all these other lots.
Yes.
So this is a common problem with auto body and some of the regular auto repair.
Right.
If we're going to consider granting a variance to have, let me see. You said, I wrote it down, to have a significantly less, you said 8, and I forget what you said the required was.
There are 8
22.
striped out there. They're required 22, yes.
Right, 22 versus 8. And then you're saying, oh, they're going to use the 8 to store cars. I understand that their cars get towed, but this is a constant problem.
Right.
If they have 14 inside and they have other lots, why? We would have to put conditions on them that this can't be storage. We've done it before. Because that's the whole problem. And then they're parking, one or more board members inspected it, and they were parking trucks on sidewalks. This is a common problem. So
Yes.
even if we were, personally, at least for me, if we were even to consider letting this go forward the way it is, that has to be you can't store cars there needing to be repaired. Like you said, they have all these lots. They have to be there. Put the 14 you're working on inside or a few queuing, and then this has to be remained, because it looks horrible too. The cars they're working on don't look like a parked car.
No.
They look destroyed. They're on jacks half the time. There's crashes everywhere. It's not fair to the rest of the community, and they do need, look, they're on 3 streets. They have to have places for people to pull on and say, look, when my car, all the
Right, yes. And again, even for what the day I was there, when I pulled in, there were several empty spaces for people to pull in. It was not being used up. I could easily pull my car in.
Also the aesthetics,
Yes,
like
well,
crashed cars.
yes,
in-
yes.
I understand what Mrs. D'Amato has said. I do agree with her. But I have to say, I have gone to a number of auto body shops. I can tell you from my personal experience, there's an auto body shop close to me, North Star in Lynbrook. I've gone past the North Star facility in Baldwin many, many times. I have never seen an auto body shop as aesthetically, perfect as North Star. I'm going to be very upfront. They go through hoops to do the right thing for the residents in the community. If you go in there, and I have, It's beautiful. They're very, very considerate of their neighbors, and I just wanted to point that out. Out of all the places I've gone to, and I've been around a long time, that is the best.
And John,
The
I
best.
disagree with you.
Right.
There's one in Oceanside on Lawson Boulevard, and it's also very attractive from the outside, so I don't disagree with you. It's just a matter of doing, keeping the wrecked cars not in the parking that's supposed to be available pursuant to the parking variance.
Sure, and it's a very valid point. And again, speaking with my
I
client,
agree with you too,
Yeah.
John.
I agree with you.
and what comes down to is, as you're aware with these places is, they're very active sites. And even when I was there, 2 tow trucks came in while I was staying there for the 45 minutes I was there. So cars come in, they come out. Many times they're waiting for the insurance company to give the approval for them and keep that car in light. So again, as you can see when you look at both the front and the side, they keep it absolutely clean. There's not a speck of dirt there. The office is good. They make it as comfortable for the clients as possible. As part of the inherent use with an auto body use, you're going to have cars coming in and out. And they endeavor to make that as clean as possible. Again, I'll speak to my clients, but other conditions, but they do have other lots where they do move cars all the time and make it as much as possible. And you make a very good point. The customers do want to come back, pick up the car, drop it off, pay a bill. That parking must always be available for them at all times for that to occur. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, a few ruin it for their group. Because
Yes.
when you're like, I saw recently cars on jacks, not at North Star.
Right.
Other ones that they're sticking cars in the front yard setback on jacks, and then they put workers' cars on the sidewalk. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, my only issue, because I do agree with John, and my only issue is like, can we actually say that the 8 spots we're proposing to fill the gap of the 22 will be for parking cars, not for storing crash cars on jacks?
My client will agree to a condition that there'll be no storage of those cars in those 8 spaces, and those 8 spaces will only be used for customer parking. We will agree to that condition.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay? Again, you ask how we will do it. We will make sure the trucks move them out. Again, they have 10 other lots. They're located rather nearby. Probably most of them are within 10 minutes away, and we'll agree to that condition.
Then he's got the parking, and the rest of the whole property's auto body shops and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Shed?
Yes.
Does it always look like this?
Well, the reason why we're here is the shed's been there forever.
I know.
Again, this is something which North Star inherited from the Botafucos. We will endeavor to make sure that the doors are closed and look aesthetically pleasing. Again, during the day, things come in, things come out. It's just a time at that point, but we will make sure that it is closed up and looks at a better quality, so you can't see anything around the parts. So,
Which just looks like a junk hole.
in all honesty, when I went in there, that's deep in the space. You can't see that from the streets. If you pass by the street, you can't see them.
See it from the street, but.
You can't.
Come on.
But yeah, they can do better. They will do better.
And I go by there all the time too. The front of it looks fine.
Yes.
The side looks fine. The back has a bunch of cars, right? But
Yes.
this, oh, please.
Yes, it could be done better, and we will do better. So yes, yes. And for what it's worth is, I did have a lengthy conversation with the operator of the facility across Milburn Avenue. I've spoken to the owner and operator of the Coral House, and his answer is he has no problem with their operations, except on occasions, the customers for the auto body sometimes parks in the Coral House parking lot. We're telling them not to do it. My clients indicate me they've been told on numerous occasions not to do it. We monitor as much as possible. It's not, again, when it happens, it's during the day, they're looking to park down a car. But that was a complaint from the owner of Coral House. I indicated we are on top of it, and we'll continue to be on top of it. And it's not often. It's like every week or so, a person will park there, and they chase them out. They shouldn't be at all. Yeah.
That'll be solved with the condition
Right.
they store the to-be-repaired vehicles.
Precisely. Once that lot is cleared out and we have everything in there, then there'll be no indication of them parking at the Coral House anymore. But I did have that very lengthy conversation with the owner of the Coral House. I made sure of that before I got here. So,
Witness the fact that
There are how many North Star auto bodies?
5. And hope, maybe expanding. I'm not going to say that, but again, they've expanded from a couple of stores. Listen, I used to be in Belmore, and when they came to town, they came to the Chamber of Commerce, met with everyone, gave tours of the facility. They're looking to become a very reputable business, and they're doing a job at that, which is, and frankly, when I talked to Mr. Botafuoco, he did not have intentions on selling this, and essentially they gave an offer where he had no choice. And they wanted this location very badly, and he left the business prematurely, but they indicated they do a better job, and probably has done a better job than he has. So,
They had big legal fees to worry about.
yes, exactly. Well, he's paying them. My bill is being paid by Mr. Botafuoco.
Right.
Yes,
Does
from the escrow.
Does he have any siblings? No, I'm kidding.
We don't talk about him. Yes. But has not been involved in the business in decades and decades and decades. Again, Casper, who ran the entire family thing, he died in 95. And essentially when you say in 1978, again, Bobby was not as much involved with the business back in 1978. So again, he tells me what his father told him as far as it was done. They did pay a guy, and they're of course upset to find out that none of it was taken care of. And Bobby found out many years later. So there it is. I mean, again, looking back at it, we were having this discussion 40 years ago instead of today. It was not an unreasonable expansion they did at that point, but that's what happened. Quite innocently in his part. So.
Anything else you'd like to add?
That's just what I have to add. Again, it's just the existing use. And again, we're pleased that North Star's coming in here. And, I think what's probably appropriate is I'll give North Star some time to, clean up the property a little bit more. We'll make sure we go and do some time. And we'll let the board know when they can do a reinspection of the property. And we'll make sure of that.
All right, I've been there a couple of times.
Okay? I have to. Yes.
He didn't.
I'll continue to go.
We will make sure they continue to do so.
Mr. McKevitt, has this application gone through town board previously, or will it have to go to town board?
I've talked to building department about it. Again, it went through town board in 53, and then it went, it's funny. It came before the zoning board in 64, and when you read the decision, it was one of the very first special exception cases to come before this board. Because the decision explains what a special exception is, and this is a brand new concept to the board when it came before then.
So I assume that.
But the plan examiner has not indicated his to go before plan board. I spoke with Ms. First about this. We'll talk about further continuance, but there was no indication from Ms. Narabecki that town board approval was required at that time. Otherwise, it would start there first.
Because the town board heard it before the parking variance, but maybe that doesn't matter.
Right, yeah. If parking came in 57,
Right.
and this was originally in 53.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. McKevitt, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you very much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good day, Mr. McKevitt.
You too, that was it. So I had other funny stories, but I'll keep them off the microphone for now.
Next, we have cases 36926 through 37026, East Meadow, Shinny Jacob and Sanu Varghese. Variance rear yard, maintain breezeway converted to living space, connecting garage to dwelling, maintain shed with less than required rear and side yard setbacks, also known as 359 Andrew Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Dean Katsubis. My address.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
My name is Dean Katsubis.
Your address, Mr.
Okay, my address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. I don't have any stories to go along with this one, nothing out of the ordinary, but what we have here is two items on a residential property. One is a conversion of a breezeway to living space, and the second is a shed. The breezeway is what connected the garage to the house, and it was an open air structure for many years. More recently, they've enclosed it, and now it's a dining room for the house. It's heated living space. By doing so, that created the need for a rear yard setback. Even though the structure itself doesn't encroach into any rear yard, by connecting it, filling the gap between the house and the garage makes the rear yard 13.9 feet where the requirement is 15 feet. So it's a
What
very,
structure is actually set back 13 feet? Is it the garage because you connected it? I don't have the,
okay, so if you look at the BZA plot plan, we enclose the space that's between the garage and the house. The garage existed legally, the house existed legally,
Let's see.
and by enclosing this breezeway, we are left with a rear yard setback of 13.9 feet instead of 15 feet. So it's really
oh, okay, hold on. So the rear yard is the south side.
correct.
And again, it's the garage that is set back 13.9. That was my question.
Correct.
So the breezeway attaching it makes the garage attached to the dwelling. So that's why that's where the 13.9 comes in.
Yes. And
Is the garage still a garage?
garage is still garage.
And then you have a shed.
Okay, the shed has, being that it's a corner property and you know, technically, yeah, being that it's a corner property, the shed is supposed to be 2 feet and 2 feet from the inside corner. It's been there forever. I saw the shed. It's one of those metal sheds. It leaves setbacks of 1.2 feet and 1.9 feet, from the corner. It's, you know, when I met with the clients, I saw the house, I saw the shed, I saw the conversion. The conversion is more recent. The shed has been there for a long time. I don't believe there's any neighbor concerns or any
No,
any
no,
issues with that.
nobody's an app. Nobody's an app.
Is that your case, Mr. Katsubis?
I believe I covered everything unless there's any other questions from the board.
Earlier, you stated that you didn't have any stories. You also don't have an alter ego the way Mr. McKevitt or Mr. McKevitt does. So you only have one name, at least that we're aware of. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Katsubis, you'll be notified by mail. The board's decision
Second,
once it's rendered.
all in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
We're going, I believe that concludes the afternoon calendar. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We will then reconvene for decisions. Unless there's, are you here on a case, sir?
Happy
Just
Independence
a
Day,
minute.
Mr. Katsubis.
No? Pardon?
He said he's on the zoning board.
Yes.
A different
Okay.
zoning board than yours?
We're not going to
I
ask
can't
you,
hear you very well.
we won't ask you if you were impressed.
No. Wait, can you come closer?
Katura, this is outside.
I just want to hear
All
it.
right, we're on a break. We will return at
You're on the
3
Hewlett zoning board?
minutes to 3.
Hewlett.
So break time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't.
So I was curious how real zoning board works. We're a small village, and since I figured I'd stick around.
Oh, I get it.
There are. First request to review the temporary shall be returned.
Okay.
So wait, before this, first temporary.
All right, so case 364 of 2026, Woodmere 121 Franklin Partners LLC has been adjourned to August 5th at 2 p.m. Cases 365 through 367 of 2026, 1025 West Merrick Road LLC. We have a number of conditions, correct?
The condition that I was out of the hearing for a little bit, but I said that spots on site will be for customers only,
Right.
not vehicles being worked on, and also that the storage shed needs to be maintained in a way,
In addition to which, there should be a condition that none of the vehicles none of the chase vehicles or any other vehicles should be, for that matter, should be parked on the curb on Old Mill Road. It's got to be, his vehicles have to be parked within the confines of the lot.
Okay, yeah, which makes sense on private property.
Yeah, because when I was there, it was on Old Mill Road.
Okay.
Not the way to go. Any other questions or comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make that motion.
Okay. So first.
Secret first.
Johnson.
All right. I move that we adopt a negative declaration as to the CEQA determination based on the testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we have reviewed and analyzed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now on the case itself.
Okay.
So I have cases 65 and 66 with conditions and 67 temporary with conditions.
Okay, resolution 365-26, 1025 West Merrick Road in Baldwin, that 365, 366 be passed with conditions, and 367 also with temporary conditions.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay, next case, 368 of 2026 Oceanside, Prince Enterprises. That case has also been adjourned to, well, this case has also been adjourned. The date set for the hearing is July 22nd, 2026 at 2 p.m. Cases 369 and 370, East Meadow, Shinny Jacob and Sinu Varghese. Variance, rear yard, maintain a breezeway converted to living space, connecting garage to dwelling, and maintain a shed with less than required rear and side yard setbacks. Property address is 359 Andrew Avenue in East Meadow. Any comments from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move case 369 to 370 of 26 East Meadow at 359 Andrew Avenue be approved as requested.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have to adopt findings.
We did that.
Did we do that this
We
morning?
did that this morning. Yep,
Oh, we did.
that.
Okay. So,
And yes, I confirmed, Mr. Pellegrini wasn't here, Mrs. Adams, you were here, so we have that all squared away.
any other business?
Yes, the inspection at the bottom, page 2, the reserve calendar, 287 to 290. As requested, here's a plot plan
Oh, yeah.
with the case numbers attached to it
Right.
for your review. There. I don't particularly like a whole concrete front yard, but it's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
Those items that,
Especially one that is decaying,
yes,
if you recall.
yes. I don't think there's a problem other than those items which we normally grant temporary, be granted temporary, such as the gazebos.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have no further comment.
The two gazebos. Yeah.
What do you think? For the shed,
And the shed.
do we do temporary with that?
Okay,
I would.
You want it temporary or?
temporary. What do we normally give?
Well, wait, what do you want to do temporary?
Gazebos and
I move that we grant 286, 287, 288, 290, with the conditions that were just mentioned by council, that the gazebos be kept open and that a gutter be put on the carport as to prevent water runoff
On the adjoining property.
on adjoining property.
Okay?
Yes.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Anything else?
No, sir. No.
Did you, or we're looking at this?
Okay, so this is interesting. Where is the, so two things are going on here. I thought they were just asking for an extension to keep the trailers.
342.
But they actually, am I to understand they haven't even filed for the building permit yet?
What's their letter? I didn't read their letter.
So, did you do the homework on that?
So they already got
NCPC?
one, they got the extension
Christine
from,
called me. Christina, apparently we sent it over. It was never processed by them.
they were granted the right to temporarily keep the trailers for 1 year to July of 2024.
No, we've already.
Correct.
And they were supposed to, in that time of the year, put in their application for the permit.
Yes.
And they came back, I'm presuming insufficient time, that they applied to renew the temporary for a year. And I assumed they had already put in their permanent application. They have not. So now they go to 25,
It was never
and
done.
now by this,
We
there's
didn't,
two things. By this,
we didn't do
They
a follow-up
say,
on it or whatever.
by
so-
this letter, the applicant requests the board renew the
There is
temporary
none.
grant for a period of 1 year as authorized by the original
What
decision,
happens?
and to extend the time to file an
How do you like
application
that as a
for permanent
planning
building permit
Commission.
for a period of
member?
1 year. So right now, they were supposed to file their permanent building permit
Yep.
by July of 24.
Okay.
We're 2 more years past it,
Very
so it's been
thorough.
3 years,
I
and they haven't even filed the permit
don't
materials
mind him.
to get the permanent,
Let's get the
to start the process of
radius.
executing, prosecuting, and request for
Patrick.
permanent permit.
What does the letter say?
Do we get the radius map for this case, these cases?
The applicant has
Of course, Kim and I
diligently
looked at
pursued
it,
obtaining a building permit
I
authorized.
just want to see how many other 40s are on it.
Since the applicant has made substantial
Because
financial
the guy told me he was going to keep it. It was, he offered to give me fruit.
with the town's directives.
He was an Eastern
Resulting
European
in a
guy,
site
and he
structurally
offered to
blah,
give me
blah,
fruit,
blah, blah.
and he
at the top of that page.
No, all right, he's going to amend plans.
Yeah.
340, 342,
Yes.
both Kib and I inspected it.
Yep.
It's okay pending his submission of amended plans.
Correct, and again, just for the record, new plans were submitted, the building plan submitted did in fact include the side
Wait,
door,
341
however,
and
the plot plan and composite that were submitted still showed the side door
On the existing home,
on
or on
both.
the new home.
On-
Oh, right, no,
Yeah.
he's not.
Yeah, and, again, I did email the attorney yesterday asking a few questions, I have not received an email back, so hopefully the
Oh, hold
22nd.
But,
What case?
I mean, as far as nature and character.
Yeah,
Yep.
fine.
The extension.
Okay, so this extension of time relates to the temporary trailers. I don't care. And we granted temporary trailers for a year in '23. And during that 1 year, they were supposed to file and properly use reasonable diligence to pursue for the final. And if they got to the end of that and needed the temporary trailers for another year and needed to continue the time in which they could finish the application for permanent, they could file, which they did. Now we are 3 years into this, and from what I'm reading here, they are asking for another year with temporaries, making it a fourth year with 23 to 24, 24 to 25, 25 to, they want a fourth year of temporary trailers. And apparently, if I'm understanding this correctly, they still, going into the fourth year, haven't even applied for their permanent grant. So my opinion is, we need to have them come back in. Because the idea that we're in year 4 of a 1 year of temporary trailers and they haven't even, it seems, applied for their permanent structure, it defies everything we intended about this case. So my motion would be, as it relates to case 371 of 2023, that we bring them back in to take testimony and gather whatever other evidence they want to provide as to whether or not, number one, they've even applied for the permanent structure. It says in this letter they also received summonses, I guess, related to their use of the property with the temporary structures. So I think we need to know about that and whatever else is going on. They apparently, to get summonses is pretty significant. Usually you get like a notice of potential in violation and you can reserve it. So
But he's suspended because it's under Board of Appeals consideration as well.
it's unclear.
It's not really under us anymore, they haven't completed construction, the board
No.
rendered its determination.
Apparently they're getting, we rendered, the case is not pending. We rendered a determination and apparently they're violating
Got an
that.
extension.
So we need to have them back in is my motion is that we have them back in.
So you're gonna back in with the eye of revoking the permit?
Well, we just need to hear what's going on because they want to go into the fourth year without even filing the application for their permanent structures and keeping all these trailers there.
But if you put it, I agree.
Okay.
If you put
Could
in
you second my
wording
motion?
that
What's happening on,
you would.
this is different than Rockaway Avenue.
It's 6 of one, half dozen of another, it's similar
Okay.
circumstances.
Right, and how old is that one?
That is also going on how many years? Around the same time.
Yeah, that was the first one we did?
That was one of, I think there are like 2 or 3 of them kicking around.
Yeah, because one, precedential value.
Correct. And, again, by the nature of what was granted, they're temporary trailers.
Yeah, no,
Going on to the fourth year now.
it was a big deal to even grant that, like, you're sticking containers over there,
Yeah, and like the potential safety issue
Okay,
you have.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, this is located, on 223 Franklin Place in Woodland.
I am obviating the necessity.
So
It's just, if they're actually asking to go in the fourth year, and they haven't even filed the application,
So let's see the other two are doing too.
And also get a status update.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we have to figure out, because they're not just not filing the permit, they're actually, whatever we told them they can do with the temporaries, they're violating to the degree that the neighbors must be calling because they're getting summonses. Like, how could they do that?
When you write the reopening resolution, ask them to bring to the hearing the Nassau County Fire Marshal's, whatever, safety issues, because we're gonna ask them about it, which will be then a to be continued, and they'll just postpone it in
Okay, so you
another
want
6 months.
Nassau County Fire Marshal docs, what else?
And any other, I don't know.
Any other relevant, but
Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
things that you could think of?
I also
If
would
they
want,
filed for a permit, we'd like it, bring it.
I would assume that's gonna be the,
Maybe let us know what these summonses were about. I don't care if they show us something, but someone needs to
Yeah,
be here who
they-
is in a position to tell us
have
what
they
these
been
summonses
adjudicated?
related to, you
Okay.
know.
sure, okay, so.
Like, we don't want the presenter who doesn't know what the summonses are about, right?
Sure, but again, fire marshal, I think that's.
Any information
summonses.
related to these summonses.
Yeah, okay.
so you need a letter from the Nassau County Fire Marshal, you need a status as to the summonses, whether or not they've been adjudicated. What else?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would assume that the attorneys, assuming that the attorneys would have that info, but again, I think stuff that's kind of outside, so
But
Nassau County Fire Marshal.
But they should be prepared to bring that to the hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she's
no, I
saying
agree.
they would
Oh,
know to
okay.
deal with summons,
Yeah.
but they might not know to bring the fire
Correct, I'm
marshal
just trying to
stuff.
think of
Yeah,
stuff
and
that's
then
not
I would
necessarily.
also.
Not obvious.
I would also word it with, that the board is considering revocation of the grant. If
Well,
you
they know
can-
that, but,
No, I don't know whether or not that's understood. They think they're gonna be here just for the extension of time.
well, they have that lit guy, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you think, Christina.
Yeah, but no, the fire marshal thing is a
They
good
have
thing
an
to add.
attorney, so
Because
I
the
think.
I don't even know what the fire marshal does with temporary structures, but you're right.
But again, I mean, the board's concerned about these, not only are they an eyesore, but it's the safety issues.
Yes.
And this was temporary, like, the idea that you haven't even bothered to, like, how about if they have planned,
Yeah.
okay, if they haven't filed for the application, then I'd like to hear from them
Why?
why, and if they have plans but haven't filed them, it'd be nice to know that they're that far along.
Yeah, sure.
Well, when we spoke to him, I don't remember, but remember it was only for some reason I remember the Rockaway Avenue better.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think
They
that,
said, what'd you say?
I was saying, I think because that was probably our first one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we gave him a time they had
Baptism by
to
fire.
start something.
We did,
And
and
that's
we were
what we
very
have
careful,
here as
that's what
well.
so what we gave them was, okay, we'll give you trailers for a year, and in that year, 2 parallel tracks.
Yeah.
Trailers for a year, if you can't get your thing done by the end, you have to request before that for another year, and in that same year, you have to properly, reasonable diligence to apply for your permit. So they go 1 year, don't do either, ask for this, they did ask in time to renew it, and they asked for more time for this, which I didn't realize, and now we did that 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and they're asking for the 4th, and they still apparently haven't applied for the permanent, which is,
The permit to even
build
start.
the-
yeah,
to
like,
build it.
that wasn't the
That
vision.
means they're just, well, I figured. at
Yeah,
that
they're
time
doing
they were just
exactly
gonna-
what we were trying to guard against.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Well, we don't have the funds now.
yeah,
yeah, well, then get rid of that.
And by the way,
Abandon the
Joanne, and in that
project.
time, they're getting summonses. Like, we get a lot of people who get notices of potential violation on their door, but summonses is a new level.
Right.
so to find.
Maybe Brad
So I really
Regan
want to know what the
was involved.
summonses are for.
When we do a reopening, we have to have a firm date, don't we, Mr. Patrick?
Yeah. Give him a date, Patty.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, mistletoe, rolling home.
What do we have,
Knick-knack,
Patty
paddywhack.
and
All right.
Chrissy?
Chrissy
So,
and Patty.
the extension, so temporary trailers sought another extension. It's
To
now
go into
going
the
to
4th
Lindsay
year without
Todd.
paying for their permit.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so-
all.
So-
That's how I
There's
remember.
been a motion to reopen, just to elicit
She's
further
so-
Because they also
testimony.
She's a nice kid.
So
She's
to
got
elicit
spunk.
further testimony and information as to what's going on.
What the summonses are, why they haven't even filed for their permit. They want a 4th year,
So,
and they were supposed to apply in the 1st year for their permanent while they're using the trailers. Now they want the 4th year, having not even filed for their permit.
it's in Hewlett.
Hewlett.
Oh, is that the one on Old Hewlett Road?
This one is on
Franklin
two
Place.
two three Frank,
No.
223 Franklin Place.
Summonses too.
That's why I don't know.
Yeah, we just want to bring them in and find out what's going on.
A date,
August 19th.
What?
8/19
It's my
and
son's
11.
birthday. He's gonna be 50.
Man, are you ever old?
Can you imagine?
Oh.
That's it?
So,
I
in
can't wait till he gets
the
to be 50.
reopening, I will ask them to bring, in particular, the National County
What are you,
Bylaw
42?
documents. We will call them on the phone and let them know what else.
Oh, you're gonna be
They
42?
need